you need to understand that you're only one part of that equation, right? Like you figure who you're trying to serve and what they want. Right?
Yeah.
Your product is one of the 1 bajillion things that these people want, right? Like, so once you figure out who you're trying to serve and what they want, then you take an inventory of what you have available to you that you can offer to the people whom you're trying to serve that fits into what they want. You look at your network. You look at your employees, you look at yourself, what do you have to offer? You look at the people who you want to build a relationship with that might be able to serve your clientele, that will also serve you as well. And you look at your clientele themselves, right? Like that is a very underappreciated part of the equation, which we learned with JWB. That's the best performing content, right? So like once you take that inventory and you're like, okay, these people want, so let's say JWB, for example, right? Like the people that are JWB's clientele are looking to invest in real estate without the hassle, right? That is what we figured out that they want. So people that want to invest in real estate without the hassle are really interested in investment strategies. They're interested in tax saving tips. They're interested in like, how can I build my business? They're interested in, is this city that I may or may not be investing in a good city to invest in long term, right? Yeah. And then the next step was reach out and talk to people that can provide context for that, right? So then we reached out and we started what you guys are doing, an interaction point that is a stage, an online interaction point that has a specific cadence, right? So it becomes a show, just like going to the panel event at the Chamber of Commerce, right? But you have this online show that you bring on the person that you are trying to build a relationship with that can serve your audience. Yeah. You invite your audience. So they all tune in on Zoom. They tune in on Facebook. They tune in on our Facebook group, however they want. Yeah. Right. You have this valuable conversation. And then you try to maximize the 3 things that I think are really important, which is value exchange, right? Like giving them valuable information, relationship enablement, which I think of in 3 ways, right? There's 3 relationships that you can build when you're doing this. 2 of them are pretty natural to think of. Number 1 is the relationship you're building with your guest. Okay. Number 2 is, so in relationship enablement, it's all about the audience seeing themselves in the content, right? So, so you want to create the relationship between you and your guest. You want to create the relationship between you and your audience, and then you want to create the relationship between your audience and your guest. Yeah. Right. And then you want to maximize content out of that, right? So it's like value, relationships, content. And the way you maximize content is by hiring the BIZBROS, right? Like or by figuring out what you guys do for a living, which is better than anybody else that I've seen. And I've been thinking about this for a long time. It's how do you take a 1 hour long video, turn it into a 1 hour long video on YouTube, turn it into a 10 minutes best of on YouTube, turn it into 5 pieces of video content that is storytelling, 5 quote cards, 5 questions and answer segments, 1 email about it, 1 blog about it, 1 podcast about it, right? Like now you're showing up everywhere and you're creating this web, and you want the content to focus on the audience seeing themselves in it. 3 ways the audience see themselves in it. 2 of them are natural. 1 of them is it valuable to me, right? Like then I'll tune in. 2 of them is, am I there? Am I being invited on, right? Like that's the whole like having your client on as a guest. And 3rd, which is what I think Gary Vee does so well, is how can you incorporate somebody asking a question into the content, right? Ooh, whether it's hey, Jen Josie said, blah, like Jen Josie said, these 3 guys are in the relationship business loaded with sincerity and authenticity. Thank you. And Jen Josie is an awesome real estate pro that you want to connect with her, and she's great. And by the way, here's the answer to what Jen Josie just asked, and make sure that her name and what she asked and the answer makes it into the micro content. Now creates this effect of like, oh shit, I got to show up live to the BIZBROS show because I may make it onto the micro content to the BIZBROS show, and then that's going to expose me to their audience, right? So that's the same reason why I follow Gary Vee around everywhere, because every time I go see him speak live, I get up and ask an intelligent question, and D-Rock puts his camera on me, and all of a sudden I'm in his Instagram feed, and I've showed up in Gary Vee's social media 3 times already, and that is a huge that's a huge credibility factor for you, right? So it's take inventory of who the people you're trying to serve and what they need. Take inventory of the assets that you have around you that can serve that need. Create the stage where you are bringing in the people that they need, the relationships that they want to form, and the information that they want to learn. Serve it up to them at scale, and then make sure that the 3 pieces of relationship building make it into micro content in as many ways as possible. It's that freaking simple.